Now let's have a look at some of the general functions of the machine. Now before I continue, you may have noticed that I'm using a stylus as I go through this demonstration. Now that is not a requirement to use this new tablet-based interface. However, it's just for the purposes of the video. So feel free to use your fingers under normal navigating conditions. All right? So let's dive into that copy mode. So now in the copy function, I can hit the copy mode right there. And we have all of our standard copy capabilities: paper source, duplexing, reduce and enlarge, as well as all of the other common functions. But let's say we want some more advanced functions. We can locate all of that under our More section. Now in the More section is where we're going to have our NUp, booklet copy, book copy, so on and so forth. Now note, just by selecting NUp, that's not activating the feature, because notice it's still off. So when I hit NUp, it's going to turn it on. Now, as this message displays, this indicates that there is a conflicting setting somewhere else in the machine or in the copy mode that is going to be changed in order for us to use this particular function. So in this case, because I'm doing NUp, which is automatically going to put multiple originals on one side of a piece of paper, it's automatically disabling my reduce and enlarge and my paper source option. Again, if I chose a specific paper source at this point. So I can hit OK. And then we can simply choose our other settings. We can even go a step further: booklet copy, book copy, poster copy, watermark, stamp, overlay, edge erase, image shift, covers, image adjustment, background adjustment, and mirror image if we so desire. Now again, if you want a full rundown on this, please refer to the user guide or administrator's guide for a full explanation of these various functions and how they might apply to you in your day-to-day. Now once we have all of our settings chosen, I can choose my copy count by hitting either the little plus or minus in that main copy screen to the left, or I can simply hit the actual number and type in my copy count manually. So I'm just going to hit start and make one copy. I already have a document on the glass, so it's just going to copy that one image and send it out for us. Now notice it says, do you want to scan another page? This is common whenever we have a scan off of the glass. In this case, I'm just going to hit no. Now you're not going to get this message if you do a scan through the document feeder. I hit no. It's going to output my image. And once the job is complete, this little screen will disappear. Another note on this particular screen is notice this little triangle, this little arrow over there on the right. This little arrow, which I can actually move, is going to bring up my hard keys. Now, because this tablet interface does not have hard keys on the display, such as start, stop, and interrupt, and reset, we've added this little extra display option to now give you those key options. And again, I can make that go away simply by hitting that little triangle. Now that we've seen copying, I'm just going to back out to my home screen. And let's talk about scan and send. Now, scan and send is going to be your one-stop shopping for all things in the machine as far as creating an image. Now, I worded that way purposely because we're creating an image whenever we, well, use the scanner, for that matter. So what uses the scanner? Faxing, scan to email, scan to SMB, scan to USB, scanning to a thumb drive that is, scanning to the hard drive, or scanning to your PC using a Twain driver. All of that is accessed through that scan and send application. And so let's dive into that. Now in the scan and send, we can see the little display there. And it's going to give us all of our potential destinations. Right? So if it's an email, I can now input an email address, or I can pull it from the address book if I so wish. If I want to pull from the address book, I hit my little address book icon, and now I can search my address book. I can also do this for faxing, SMB scans, FTP, box, which refers to the hard drive, PC, and as I mentioned, USB, which I'm just going to insert my thumb drive, and in a moment, it's going to display the USB option as well. So no matter what my desired destination is, whether it be an actual thumb drive or a fax number, it's all going to come out of that Scan and Send menu. So for this purpose, I'm just going to scan something to my USB thumb drive. It's going to ask me where I want to send it. So that could be a folder on there, or it could just be the root of the thumb drive. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it right on the root and hit done. I'm going to give it a file name of test file 1. Done. Now, once I have my file name chosen, I can even go and choose my file type. In this case, I can choose PDF, TIFF, XPS, or JPEG, resolution, OCR language, and so forth. But now, what if I want to take it a step further? I can go to my More option, and now I can choose, do I want to do a book scan, if I wanted to scan from a book itself. If I have a scan function going, I can now choose some faxing options. If I have email settings that I need to choose because I'm doing an email, it can all be done in there, as well as original type, orientation, color mode, image adjustment, as well as background adjustment. So all of that is located under our More option. And I'll just toggle back to Send. Now, once I have everything chosen, I can simply hit Start, and it's now going to scan into my thumb drive. And you can see in the upper left how it's saying USB store. Again, because I'm scanning off of the glass, in a moment it should prompt me for another page, which I'm going to hit No. And now the file is on my thumb drive. And that's your Scan and Send option. Again, we now have Box, which refers to the hard drive of the machine, or anything that's storage related. So in this case, my thumb drive is also going to be listed under that Box submenu. So if you ever plug in a thumb drive, you need to, and do a USB print, you need to ensure that you're going into the Box menu in order to access those files and print them out. So I can just scan and flip, and you see there's my test file 1. I can simply highlight it, and then my little print icon will light up. And then out it goes. I can just hit close. Notice when I highlight the file, I have that little paper airplane icon for sending. So I can now take that file and I can send it to one of these many various destinations. So I have a lot of different mixing and matching I can do with this particular machine and the way the operating system and user interface is laid out. So I'll just cancel that. Now, if I had stored anything, let's say, from a print job, or let's say I stored something as a copy from a copy job, we'll talk about that a little bit later. We can now access it and print it right from this menu. In the case of USB, if I want to disconnect my thumb drive, I can simply hit this little eject button to ensure that we do not damage the thumb drive when ejecting it. And at that point, it's safe to remove my thumb drive. So that is your general overview on some of the more common functions that you can expect to use on the machine. Again, a quick recap: copying, all your typical functionality. Just keep in mind that we have that More button in each application. Now that applies to our Scan and Send as well. Again, Scan and Send is going to refer to faxing as well as email, scan to SMB, scan to FTP, scan to thumb drive, as well as scanning to the box, which refers to the hard drive of the machine.